Hi everyone. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to use the Blender to figure out. Give me a second. So in Blender, normally when we do the modeling, I think it's nothing specific to Blender. When we do modeling, there is a issue we always face when we create different types of surfaces. Like we might have a hard surface or a smooth surface, and then lighting sometimes doesn't look smooth even though the shape and the formation of the model is all good. So we need to sometimes deal with the normal of the each face in the model. So the normal is the one tells us how the light will be reflected. So if we can fix the normals, then it will also fix other associated problems. So let's see how it looks normally. So let's just start creating a model for an example so that we try to solve it as we go. So first we have a cube. When we start Blender, we have a cube, and let's edit this cube so that I want to extract, probably not extract. Select this face, insert, and then I button, press I to insert, and then extrude this face, and that's okay. And then probably that's fine, and that's how it looks. Okay, the shading is okay. Now I want to create a circle on this face, so that let's make it a little bit more complicated, this shape. Let's remove this face, delete key face, so that is inside out, and then here also remove this face. So if this is a shell type model we just created, now let's create the cart. So we divide this face into two. So to do that, we go edge selection mode, select these two edges, and then W key and subdivide, and we just created two faces on this face. And then on the upper face we want to create a cylinder type, so we need a cylinder type shape. So we need a circle here on this face. The way I do it normally, I try to find out the center point of this face, so just joining the corner vertices with the J key. So with the J key, so I found the center point of this vertex. Then I press Shift S to move my cursor to the selected, which is the center point. Now my cursor is at the center point. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a circle there. So the circle is created at the cursor where the center point is. Now I go here in add circle, and then adjust the vertices, the amount of vertices I need. Let's say I want to have roughly 12 vertices, and then the radius of the circle I want to make it roughly 0.3 radius. Well, let's make it a little bit bigger, maybe. No, it's too big. 3.5. So, or 0.3. That's okay. So now that we have this there, I want to rotate this so that it's aligning with the face. So R key to rotate, and X, Y on the Y axis, and then 90. Typing 90, enter, and then now you can see the face is perfectly aligned. The circle is perfectly aligned on the face. Now that what I can do, I go the face selection mode and delete all these faces that I don't need anymore. Delete faces, and I can just go to the vertex selection mode and then start connecting these two vertices. So if I press F key, it's gonna connect these two vertices, and then I'm gonna connect, select all these vertices by going to select and select loop, edge loop. So it's an edge loop, and then I also select all these different vertices. Now that I selected the vertices, I can create a face between these vertices. So I go to the face and the fill. So it's created a face like that, but I don't like this type of face. Let's say Control Z to undo, and then let's see what other way to create the face. Let's say I want a F key. So F key creates a face, but it's a little bit messy now. We have to delete maybe the center one. I'm not sure how you deal with this one. Control Z. So doesn't look alright. Okay. Probably just go back, Control Z, keep pressing Control Z. So let's just create this method and then select all the faces and like different faces. F key to merge all the different faces. That way we are merging the faces. So based on the, so just keeping pressing F key is gonna merge the faces probably. So now that we are in this situation here where we are ended with this condition where we can't go any more further because that's the way the modeling works. So now if we try to merge any further, it's gonna fill the hole that we don't want that. So Control Z. So but we achieved the circle cylinder on the face. Now we just go to the edge selection mode and again going back to select edge loop, so that we select all this and then extrude, E to extrude, and then we release, and then here we can choose normal so that we extrude normal direction. Probably so it's not exactly going towards the normal for some reasons. So the extrude key is for some reason. So what if we select local? So with the local, with the help of local, we should be able to extrude the cylinder. So let's say we created this 3 meters or 2.5 meter, and that's it. Now that we created an object like this, a shell, now here what we see here in our, so the cylinder should not look like this blocky, so we need to have the normals of the cylinder such that it looks smooth. What I mean by that, let's one way to do it, we just select the faces, let's say individually, of the cylinder, so that we go face and shade is smooth, and as you can see it now looks smooth. But here we want to blend it. Let's say it's not gonna be like a hard cylinder just attached to the plane or the face. So what we want to do, we just select the edges. So go to the edge selection mode, select all these different edges. I'm doing it manually, but you can do it automatically. So we selected the edges, then we can create a bevel. So Control B to create bevel, and here we go edge mode, edge selection. Looks a little bit messy, but we can fix it, I think. Loop slide, so we uncheck the loop slide. Now we are creating a smooth transition between the face and the cylinder, planar face and the cylinder here. So the number of segments we want to have, so that it's gonna be, let's say 4 or 3 or whatever. I prefer 4. I think 4 is okay, and then width we can adjust it to our preference. I think that looks good. Now we come out of this. Now what we are seeing, a good result. So this is, suppose this is what we wanted to build, a nice cylinder attached with a fillet attached to the face of this object, and then there is a nice round fillet to it. Let's say we have this fillet selected, we also go face mode and shade smooth. So now that's the final result we get. It looks quite okay. Still, now let's set a material for this, our object. We go to the material, and then we already have a material. We can just adjust the color of it. Material viewport, so that we can see how it looks. Right, that's okay. So here, what we are seeing here is, you can see a little bit hard blend here, like we have shade. So what I mean by that, you can see here, it's not perfectly blending here with the planar face. We want this to blend nicely. Now, what happens if we make this face, this face, smooth shading? Then we get this result, kind of, which again it doesn't look natural like the bottom face like this one. So the shadow has changed and many things has changed, and it doesn't look. If we adjust our camera to see this, let's say and to view, go to the view and camera to view, and as you can see, definitely this face looks now different than this face. It should both look the same, and also we should achieve the smooth blending between this. So the smooth surface and the planar hard surface, this kind of highlighted the dark shadow which should not exist. So this is the problem normally you'd face, and you can see some lines. Normally, if we go to the light mode, maybe it's not clear here, but it would be clear from a different angle. Let's say, let's make it again the flat shading. Again, you don't see, but we want this line to be vanished. Basically, if we just render it, you can see there's a line here, so we don't want that. Let's adjust our light Z up, make it a little bit based on what we need. Let's see, camera view, and you can see now if we render it, we don't want this hard kind of so it's not blending because the normals are so different. So here the normals are smooth shaded normals. You can view the normals by going here and clicking on this one, and it will show the direction of the normals. So what normal does is telling the light source how to reflect the light, where it should be the darker side and where it should be the brighter side. But because these two faces are different, completely different from the adjoining faces, you get this hard line showing. So the difference in so it's not blending like this one where you don't see those type of hard kind of highlight line. So this is the problem, the usual problem we might face when we are working with mesh modeling in any 3D software, not just Blender. So one way to fix it, I'll show you how to fix it. So one way to fix it, you try to understand what's happening here. What's happening here, it looks nice. Try to make these two faces. One way to fix it, probably using the smooth shading technique. If we come out of the edit mode and go to the object and then shade auto smooth, what it does the auto smooth of normals for us, and based on the angle we can go to the data for the object and the normals, and you can see the auto is smooth, and at the moment it's 30 degree, so you can adjust it. You can see when we adjust it, is only making normals smooth when certain the angle between the faces, like this one is greater than 30 degree, whatever you set here, or the angle between these. So I'd like to set it to at least 50 degree for our model, because our hard corners or the flat surfaces are quite 90 degree apart from each other, like this, all the other faces like this one, so they're pretty planar. So that's what it's doing. So it's doing the auto smooth based on this angle, because these angles are greater than 50 degree. That's why it's got a smooth shading, and here the angles are greater than 50 degree, again got the smooth shading. And then, but the problem we face here now, these unusual dark lines from a certain angle, you normally don't see it. You can only see it on the upper face, because that's the adjoining face for the cylinder, and the bottom face is fine, this is fine. And you can even see that in your rendering, or like if I render it now, and you can see it here. So how to fix this problem? The one way to fix it in Blender, you just select the faces, adjoining faces where this is occurring, and then you go face, maybe the edge, and then you have to select, I suppose. Alrighty, let's select the edge selection mode. What do you gotta do here? Probably you just have to select. Let's select the faces, and then we are dealing with the problem with the normals. So because these two faces, the normals are quite different from the one here, because it has to, this algorithm, auto smooth algorithm, is trying to blend the normal of these to the shaded smooth shaded part. So we want to adjust the normals of these two where the problem is occurring. So we go to the mesh normals, and then we have to select, I think, set from faces. Let's see what happens once we click that and we go back. The problem is gone. Magic. Here is the magic. So now the problem is gone, and if we just render it now, because we have the camera view, you can see the problem doesn't exist anymore, and we achieved our goal of having both the smooth shading for our smoothed part. But here is the other problem, because now we have to go through our object and mark the edges where it would be the flat shading edges, because it doesn't know otherwise. And you can see the blue lines means they are hard edges, so not smooth. So we go to the edge and we have to select mark sharp, and that would fix many other problems. But here we see this is some unusual. Again, we just have to keep selecting the one. Alrighty. And let's say mark sharp, and then we also create a face on that. And we wanna select this face, and let's go face, shade smooth, shade flat. It doesn't, it maybe has to do with the lighting. This I suppose there's a lighting thing. No, I think with this face, now there's a problem with this face, this side. I'm not quite sure why this is happening. One way to solve this, probably select the both faces or similar faces and do the same. A normal set normal. Now it fixed the problem. Now we get the problem here. Just keep going. Let's see. But the idea is normally it maybe has to do with the auto smooth thing. If we go object, shade, auto smooth, and then we're facing the problem, smooth, and when this hard edges marking only works when you have auto smooth on, basically. But you can always calculate this normal mesh, normal recalculate outside or inside. Not quite sure why this is happening. So if we go to object, flat shade, and everything is flat shade now, and then we go auto smooth, and here let's set it to 50 degree or even greater, 60 degree, and now we don't have that problem here. Probably I'm missing some. There could be some additional hard lines automated. So basically it's somewhere there is an additional selection of the hard lines to just figure it out. If I change the light source, it could be the light source, I suppose. If we go to the not shaded mode, here it looks quite strange too. We have dark point here. What if we go normal recalculate outside, inside, outside, and tinkering around, I guess. There is no fixed rule for this. We turn off the light. Where is it? Select the light. Say spotlight, sunlight, area light. Go to the top and set it to 5K kilowatt. 5 kilowatt. It could be the material, isn't it? If I remove the material, no, it still, you can see it. There it exists. There, this thing is a bit strange. And here also is looking a little bit strange here. But we fixed the main problem, that here where the adjoining faces, there is no more unusual dark lines, but now we're facing a different type of problem, I suppose. That's all in the video, in this video, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye.